All right, ladies and gents. um, After doing a brief review for Liber Clavium, I just wanted to talk about some of my experiences after applying the information. So there are, let's say, different places that you can go that the book talks about. So there's your own microcosm. There are places that are external that you can go to. And there are also, excuse me, there are external places that you can project to. And then there's also the ethereal level of the place that you're actually at, where you may see things. I won't really go into much description about my astral temple because it's personal. But when they talk about how it changes, it does. I mean, first time I went to my astral temple, then left and came back, there was a whole dinosaur in my around my astral temple. And like, it wasn't something that I put there. When it comes to the layer, the ethereal layer of where you're at, there are beings that are living on a layer of reality that we can't see unless we're trained to see it. And this particular being that I saw that was in my bedroom looked like a clown. But it didn't come off as like evil, or it wasn't even paying attention to me. Because you have these entities, they may be aware of you, they may not be aware of you. They may not even care about your presence. And it was kind of strange, but it was cool. A lot of the places that you go to are what are called the inner realms. And the inner realms are basically inside you because you're a microcosm, okay? So the worlds within you are going to be infinite. And to me, I think it really, a lot of the places that I go when I travel, explain where you're at spiritually. So a lot of the entities that you come upon within these inner realms are either aspects of yourself or part of your spiritual team, which are still part of yourself to a degree, even though they have external intelligences. Excuse me, I'm getting over being sick. Anyway, so these worlds appear as dreams. I do a lot of it when I sleep, and it is a lot of work. People who do this type of work, they may feel tired even though they go to sleep because they're still doing work. So anyway, a lot of things that happen within these dream visions are symbolic. And if you know how to decode them, they tell you where you're at spiritually. So a lot of times I have the theme of going places where people aren't willing to go. Sometimes they're dark. Sometimes they just go beyond where other people go. And basically it's just kind of like when you're on your path, like, a lot of people are not going to want to accept the things or do the things that you do, such as shadow work. A lot of people don't want to face shadow work. And a lot of my visions are representations of that, where I've done that shadow work. There's a lot of people out there who are not willing to. So those are the people who get left behind. Another recurring thing in my visions is there's always a female in my visions, and she's either going ahead of me to either clear the way, talk to beings that will eventually be in my path, or going to get some information from me. And I feel like this is a representation of what Christians would call, God's Holy Ghost. But this is my personal Holy Ghost, or Shakti. So basically, it's a part of me. She doesn't really have a name. We can give a name to her. But it's kind of like she brings information or what I need to me, and then I process that. And then find some way to make it practical. Another recurring theme is children. And the reason I feel like I keep seeing children is both imagination and innocence are an integral part to magic. Imagination helps you to become creative. Like when you're a creator, you have to have an imagination. And it's basically something that this world has started, constantly is trying to rob us of. Okay, so we do have to kind of embrace a childlike mentality. Imagination allows the magical energy to use what we have in our brains so that we can interpret the information that we need when we tap into whatever current we use. When it comes to innocence, I think innocence is just another thing where the world is trying to rob us of. Somebody who's innocent, I wouldn't necessarily say is naive, but is free of corruption. So it's like with the duat. When you're ascending and you're going through the duat, a big thing is truth. And those who are innocent are going to be truthful. When you go through your spiritual journey, it's about accepting the truth. If you lie to yourself, then you're not going to ascend. You're not going to make any progress whatsoever. So you have to be innocent in that sense. And I believe that's what those inner realms are constantly presenting to me. As well as the fact that, like, this reality, it's a big idiocracy. It's like a carnival. It's all fake. It's one big advertisement after another. Just promises of things that don't really take you anywhere. Everything is cosmetic. Everything is superficial. And that's another theme that keeps coming up. So, it's like my inner worlds are telling me, like, not to focus too much on this reality. You have to invest in the spiritual. And really, when you invest in the spiritual and you accept your inheritance of power, then you become a creator, and then you can start creating a better physical world instead of having to accept this fake one that doesn't grant any happiness. So, with that said, just thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you guys next time.